Hi guys, welcome back to 7L Horse Racing for another exciting race replay from Mountaineer Park. Tonight there are a lot of good racing, close to finish, exciting race, large field. So watch it till the end. And don't forget to leave me a like and comment if you want to talk to me. I hope you enjoy the race. Until next time, take care.
Fillies and mares are coming onto the track for race 4. These are $4,000 claimers going 1 mile. Number 1, Harlan's Legacy, owned by Team Ramjeet Racing Stable. Luis Batista riding for trainer Tina Ramjeet. 2, Sweet Talia, owned by Donna Skellin and Robert Skellin. Kyle Gilbert riding for trainer Robert Skellin. 3, Best Virginia, owned and trained by Melinda Sanders, the rider Michael Vilches. Number 4, Team Mom, Not Bra, owned by Team Ramjeet Racing Stable. Jairo Hernandez riding for trainer Tina Ramjeet. 5, Kingston Time, owned and trained by Shane Speece, the rider Luis Negron. 6, Some Kind of Pretty, owned by Adrian Ramos, Luis Tapara riding for trainer Juan Raul Aguirre. 7, Performance Anxiety, owned by Nat Nesbitt and Ryan Nesbitt, Bailey Weatherly riding for trainer Donald Blankenship. Number 8 is Bootsy's Malo, owned by Roger Sterling, Brandon Whittaker riding for trainer Jay Bernardini. And 9, Agenda, owned and trained by Virginia Demzik, the rider Ricardo Barrios. They're off and racing. Clean start, and Best Virginia broke best. Kingston Time away in second, followed by Some Kind of Pretty. On the rail is Sweet Talia, followed by Team Mom Not Bra. Out deeper on the track, Performance Anxiety and Bootsy's Malo. And now Team Mum Not Bra has dropped well back, has actually dropped to the tail. Passed out wide by Agenda, and on the inside, Harlan's Legacy. So they make way down the back, just over 6 furlongs to run. And on the outside, Kingston Time, level pegging with Best Virginia. They're not going fast, 25.90 for the opening quarter. They're 3 lengths in front of Bootsy's Merlot. In the centre then is Some Kind of Pretty. At the rail, Sweet Talia, followed by Performance Anxiety. Then Harlan's Legacy, Agenda, and 4 or 5 lengths to Team Mum Not Bra. 3.5 furlongs out, and still not much separating Best Virginia the inside and Kingston Time. They're 2.5 in front of Bootsy's Merlot, now under a ride. Then comes Some Kind of Pretty. Sweet Talia splits runners, followed by Harlan's Legacy. Then Performance Anxiety, Agenda, and the trailer is Team Mum Not Bra. Best Virginia is the leader with Some Kind of Pretty on the outside. Bootsy's Merlot getting going again. Kingston Time in the centre. Then Sweet Talia followed by Harlan's Legacy. Then Agenda followed by Performance Anxiety. And Team Mom Not Bra out by the river. The leader is Best Virginia down to the furlong pole by 2. Bootsy's Merlot sticking on well in second. And from a long way back, Sweet Talia is running on strongly. Best Virginia being grabbed by Sweet Talia. Sweet Talia goes to the lead from Best Virginia. Sweet Talia by a nose over Best Virginia. Third home was Some Kind of Pretty. Photo. Runners are coming onto the track for race 5. These are $4,000 claimers going 6 furlongs. Number 1, Sexy Chocolate, owned by Reuben Stables. Luis Tapara riding for trainer Jeffrey Dixon. 2, Beyond Notice, owned by Team Ramjeet Racing Stable. Luis Batista riding for trainer Tina Ramjeet. 3, Ambulante, owned and trained by Horacio Barbaran, the rider Michael Pagan. 4, Lord Ante, owned by Dennis and Kathy Cluley. Ricardo Barrios riding for trainer Dennis Cluley. Number 5, Hippodrome, owned by Cynthia Cordero. Charlie Oliveros riding for trainer Alexis Cordero Lopez. Number 6, Lieutenant Brown, owned and trained by Anthony Farrier, the rider Marshall Mendez. 7, Moon Over Dubai, owned by Terry Staley. Yana Villas riding for trainer Jamie Poole. And number 8, Royal Curlin, owned by Tijuana Racing Stables, Jeffrey Tenenbaum and Jeffrey Bloom. Luis Negron riding for trainer Jose Luna Silva. They're off and racing. Hippodrome in the centre away quickly. Lord Ante fast into stride, followed by Ambulante. To the outside is Royal Curlin. The favourite comes away 5 off the lead midfield. Then Be On Notice, Sexy Chocolate. Lieutenant Brown splits those. And 3.5 lengths to Moon Over Dubai. Lord Ante now goes through to lead by 3 parts of a length. Hippodrome second. They're a good 6 lengths in front of Ambulante. Royal Curlin's out 3 wide, and on the rail is Lieutenant Brown, followed by Be On Notice, Sexy Chocolate and Moon Over Dubai. Lord Ante, the leader, by a length and a quarter as they run to the quarter pole. Hippodrome racing second. They're well out in front of Royal Curlin, followed by Ambulante, Lieutenant Brown the inside from Be On Notice, and far back to Sexy Chocolate and Moon Over Dubai. They're at the top of the stretch. It's Lord Ante the leader. Straightens about 2.5 lengths in front. Hippodrome holding second. Still a good gap to Royal Curlin, followed by Lieutenant Brown giving way from Sexy Chocolate. Lord Ante's in front. Hippodrome on the outside is coming on, and Royal Curlin out wider. Hippodrome gets to the lead. Royal Curlin lunging. I don't know. Royal Curlin or Hippodrome. Third home was Lord Ante. Fillies and mares are coming onto the track for race 6. These are $4,000 claimers going 1 mile. Scratch number 4, Sensible Marriage. Number 1 is A Girl Gone Wild, owned by Super C Racing. Marshall Mendez riding for trainer John Carlisle. 2, Round in Circles, owned by Annette McCoy. Brandon Whittaker riding for trainer Christy Flores. 3, Honestly, owned by Norcabina Farms, Bailey Weatherly riding for trainer Donald Blankenship. 5, Kingdom Spirit, owned and trained by Josh Bishop, the rider Kevin Gonzalez. Number 6, Appealing Road, owned by Michelle Helms, Luis Negron riding for trainer Eddie Clouston. 7, Coach Kaylee, owned by Bruno Schickedance, Luis Tapara riding for trainer Julie Mathis. Number 8, Good Enough For Me, owned by Trinity Elite, Ricardo Barrios riding for trainer Khalil Cady. And at number 9, Gino's My Dad, owned by Peter John Goodwin. Juan Belisario riding for trainer Marco Kamaki. They're off and racing. And looking for the lead is Honestly. To the outside, Kingdom Spirit showing a bit of speed. And on the inside is Round in Circles. So sorting themselves out, Round in Circles goes through to lead by a half. Now a length and a half. Honestly back to second as the leader goes 2.5 clear. Third to the outside is Appealing Road. Kingdom Spirit settles fourth the inside. Then comes Good Enough For Me. 3 away to Girl Gone Wild inside Coach Kaylee. And 2 lengths to Gio's My Dad. Round in Circles, setting a good even tempo down the back, leads by 3.5. Honestly is racing second, followed by Kingdom Spirit. To the outside next is Appealing Road. Deeper out, Good Enough For Me, then Girl Gone Wild, Coach Kaylee, and 5 to Gio's My Dad. Round in Circles by 2.5 lengths. Honestly racing second, followed on the inside by Kingdom Spirit. Good Enough For Me is next. And then comes Girl Gone Wild, followed by Coach Kaylee. Appealing Road has dropped well back. And Gio's My Dad at the tail. Here comes Good Enough For Me out 3 wide to join Honestly, and Round in Circles the rail. They're out by 3 to Girl Gone Wild, starting to work into it, followed by Kingdom Spirit. And then Coach Kaylee, and you can forget the other 2, Appealing Road and Gio's My Dad. It's Honestly the leader, with Girl Gone Wild on the outside now, ranging up quickly. Girl Gone Wild has now now got to the lead from Honestly along the inside. There was some crowding back behind them. Good Enough for Me getting into third. Coach Cayley running on from a long way back, but Girl Gone Wild boots clear. Girl Gone Wild with 70 yards to go is going to win very easily. Girl Gone Wild scores by 7 lengths. Coach Cayley second, third Good Enough for Me, and fourth Honestly. Runners are on the track now for race 7, a starter allowance, 1 mile. Scratch number 2, Grace in Excess. Number 1 is Genius, owned by Betty Inman. Kevin Gonzalez riding for trainer Robert Inman. 3, Tory Factor, owned by Greta Sherman and Joseph Massaro. Bailey Weatherly riding for trainer Joseph Massaro. 4, Man on the Moon, owned by Gerald Bruno Jr. Brandon Tapara riding for trainer Robert Inman. 5, C Spot Run, owned by Courtney Wolfe. Brandon Whittaker riding for trainer Jay Bernardini. Number 6 is Captain Creed, owned by Ira Ashwell. Joe Stokes riding for trainer Gregory Vians. 7, Founder, owned by Interstellar Thoroughbreds. Alejandro Gomez riding for trainer Moises Valdez. And number 8, Krug, owned and trained by Jose Lopez, the rider Luis Tapara. And they're off and racing. And they came away in a good line. C Spot running on the outside, Krug. So Krug is looking for the lead, trying to cross over. He's just about there. Captain Creed, Krug is going to the front, and Captain Creed's dropped out to the tail. So it's Krug in front, and here comes C Spot run into second, 3 wide, around Tory Factor and Genius at the rail. Then comes Man on the Moon inside Founder. And back at the tail of the field then is Captain Creed. The leader is Krug by 3 parts of a length. C Spot runs second. 4 wide then is Founder. At the rail is Genius, Tory Factor and Man on the Moon between runners. And a couple away last is Captain Creed. So now the leader is Krug, but away from the rail. Plenty of room for Genius to come through. Might be room for Tory Factor, one off the fence too. Making some ground, here's Man on the Moon going forward from C Spot Run Founder. And Captain Creed is last, but only 3.5 off the lead. Bunch right up now. And it's Man on the Moon getting a narrow lead from Krug and C Spot Run. Founder's on the outside, followed by Captain Creed, Tory Factor, and Genius has dropped out. The leader is Man on the Moon. 3 wide in second, C Spot Run, followed by Krug. Some Captain Creed looking for somewhere to go on the inside. Next, Tory Factor, Founder, the rightest runner. They're into the stretch. It's Krug fighting back from Man on the Moon. One off the fence, Captain Creed trying to get through. There is absolutely no room. Down the outside, Founder's running on. Man on the Moon got to the lead, and Man on the Moon will win by a half length. Tory Factor second, and the photo for third between Founder and Krug. Field is parading for the final event. $4,000 claimers going 1 mile. Scratch 11, 12 and 13. Number 1, Bahama Channel, owned by Richard Tabor. Brandon Whittaker riding for trainer Eddie Clouston. 2, Cindy Storm, owned by Adrian Ramos. Luis Tapara riding for trainer Juan Raul Aguirre. 3, Scorsese, owned by Fairfield Racing Stable. Kevin Gonzalez riding for trainer Cameron Treweller. 4, Chopped, owned and trained by Virginia Demzik, the rider Ricardo Barrios. 5, Zero Gravity, owned by Team Ramjeet Racing Stable. Luis Batista riding for trainer Tina Ramjeet. 6, Super Fortune, owned by Richard Burnsworth. Marshall Mendez riding for trainer Anthony Farrier. Number 7, Innuendo, owned by Kathy Antis. Michael Vilches riding for trainer Melinda Sanders. Number 8, Royal Air Force, owned and trained by Susan Yoder, the rider Luciano Hernandez. 9, Happy Champ, owned by Donna Skellen and Robert Skellen. Bailey Weatherly riding for trainer Robert Skellen. And number 10, Tonal Totalitarian, owned and trained by John Paul Silver, the rider Alejandro Gomez. They're off and racing. Tonal Totalitarian immediately drops out to the tail and is going to be a long last on settling. Scorsese was the best to begin and will lead into the first turn. Bahama Channel on the inside, followed by Super Fortune, and then comes Cindy Storm. Deeper out moving forward is Happy Champ. Then comes Chop Between Runners and 3 wide Innuendo, followed by Zero Gravity, and on the outside Royal Air Force. And well back last is Tonal Totalitarian. So Scorsese has company. In the centre is Super Fortune, and out 3 wide Happy Champ is tugging along. They're 2.5 lengths in front of Bahama Channel, 3.5 lengths Zero Gravity. Then comes Chopped on the outside of Cindy Storm. 4 wide is Royal Air Force, Innuendo's 3 wide, and Tonal Totalitarian is about to tack onto the field. Now on the outside, it's Happy Champ going to the lead, getting a length in front. Super Fortune second, and Zero Gravity is on the move third. Scorsese has put the cue in the rack, followed by Bahama Channel. Chopped is starting to make some headway, and then comes Royal Air Force. Tonal Totalitarian weaving between runners is coming into it pretty quickly, and then comes Cindy Storm and Innuendo at the top of the stretch now, and Happy Champ is the leader by 2.5. Super Fortune second, followed by Zero Gravity. Around the outside, Tonal Totalitarian. In the centre then, squeezed up a little bit was Chop. The leader is Happy Champ, about to be confronted by Chop. Chop in the centre has now gone to the lead with Tonal Totalitarian on the outside. Chop and Tonal Totalitarian. Chopped wins by a half length, Tonal Totalitarian. Third home was Happy Champ. Fourth, Zero Gravity. And a fifth, Super Fortune.